What is up, guys? If you follow this channel at all, you might have gotten the impression that I like camera gear, so to give you a fair warning, this video isn't going to have a lot of reef related stuff in it. So what the heck am I showing you here? For the past few months I've been putting together a shoulder rig for my cinema camera. So what's the deal with the shoulder rig? It accomplishes two things. First, and most important, it helps stabilize the camera when you're doing some run and gun shooting. Instead of just your hands stabilizing the camera, there's two additional points of contact, your shoulder and your head, to reduce that motion jitter. The second thing a camera rig is good for is being able to mount all the camera accessories onto it. Cinema cameras are highly customizable, and it's possible to really start packing on the additional gear. Believe it or not, my shoulder mount system is actually pretty lean compared to some of the giant rigs that are out there. Still, what I'm able to do with this rig is fully control the camera with my hands, monitor everything through a very high quality electronic viewfinder, record professional audio from two separate microphones, and if I wanted to, either record at a very high bitrate with an external recorder or broadcast wirelessly to YouTube in real time. It's basically an all-in-one film studio that you can carry around. That was the 1-minute overview of the setup. I'll talk about each of the components individually now. First up is the camera itself. I've got a Canon C100 cinema camera. I've been using this for a little over a year now and I really love it. It produces a great picture and I'm a big fan of the ergonomics. Now there's a lot of cameras out there that have more impressive specs on paper. And really, Canons have never been stat monsters when it comes to specs, but their image quality is way up there, and I can't stress how important ergonomics are. The camera just gets out of your way, while some other cameras are kind of a chore to work with. One thing that separates most consumer DSLRs that can shoot video from a more professional video camera is how well it handles audio. Audio is one of the most overlooked parts of video making, and it's a death sentence if you do it poorly. I, for one, don't really watch videos when the audio is distractingly bad. The C100 has two XLR jacks for professional microphones. For this run-and-gun shoulder rig, I want to use wireless microphones, and I went with two Sennheiser AVX mics. Sennheiser G3 wireless mics have been an industry standard for ages, seemingly, and they just came out with these AVX digital wireless lavalier microphones. I really appreciate the form factor of these Sennheisers. The part that attaches to the camera is just this small dongle. In the past, there was a wireless transmitter unit that was the same size as the receiver unit, and that would have to be stuck to your camera rig. Again, I can't stress enough how much I value good ergonomics. There are some major improvements going from the G3 Sennheisers to these new AVX Sennheisers, but one thing that made it easier to justify the purchase is that there's an ongoing discussion with the FCC which might result in the radio frequency of the older mics getting reallocated, meaning all the existing wireless mics living in that bandwidth would suddenly be illegally broadcasting. Yikes. It's been an ongoing thing with the FCC, but I don't want to find out one day that all these expensive wireless mics that I have are suddenly illegal to use and are virtually worthless. Okay, moving on. I did mention that this is a shoulder rig, so this is the base plate and pad for that. It's made by a company called Zacuto that makes some pretty slick filmmaking gear. The pad is a very nice gel, but to be honest, I'm super bony, and it's still a little bit uncomfortable for me without heavy clothing or a jacket. One issue with just taking a camera and tossing it onto your shoulder is the fact that you need to move the camera controls to your hand. You just can't reach up to the camera any longer to do much of anything. So, you need one of these. It's a control grip relocator. It allows you to take the existing Canon control grip and attach it to the bottom here, and the cable plugs into the camera, giving you full control of start-stop, iris wheel, and the menu joystick, all of which are 100% necessary to operate the camera. The hand grip being in this location is really good for stabilizing the camera, but not having too much weight on it. The camera being on your shoulder really saves your arms in the long run because the overall weight of the rig, once fully assembled, is pretty substantial. The control grip is for your right hand. And you may have been wondering what the deal is with that odd looking gadget for the left hand. It's a follow focus. It allows you to focus lenses manually without again having to reach all the way back to the camera that's on your shoulder and a little bit behind your head. Technically, I can reach back there, but it's like scratching your ear with your opposite arm. So again, ergonomics is a thing I treasure, so by using a follow focus that doubles as a hand grip, it's really nice. So in addition to providing lens control, it's another point of contact to help stabilize the camera. Having said that, I only use this follow focus for my longer 100mm macro lens. The Canon C100 has a nice full-time autofocus feature, which does a really good job of locking onto subjects. When you start using a macro lens though, it doesn't do quite as good a job, and the camera starts to hunt for focus moving from one end to the other. So clearly I don't want a lens that's hunting for focus about 50% of the time. So I use this follow focus and basically just do it myself. Here is a short clip of me using the rig to follow a Harlequin filefish around. This would not be possible using the camera's built-in autofocus, and it would be much shakier footage if it wasn't stabilized by the shoulder rig. Again, having 4 points of contact is what makes this possible, and the results look like it was shot on a tripod with a fluid head. By putting the camera on my shoulder, it forced me to move camera controls out front. Guess what's also stuck on the camera that I have to now move? The viewfinder. Without it, I have no idea what I'm shooting or whether I'm even recording or not. To do this, I picked up the Zacuto Gradical HD, which many people consider the best viewfinder out there. It's loaded with features, and it has one of the best high-definition OLED displays. It's going to sound a little technical, but one of the things I like about it is that it's not a regular 720p screen in there. It's slightly more square-shaped, which allows the Gradical HD to display a full 720p image, but then leave room at the bottom for stuff like waveform, histogram, and vector scope. If you're not familiar with those tools, I totally understand. The first time I saw it, it looked like Braille to me, but once I figured out how to use it, it feels like you can see the Matrix. I'm gonna go out on a limb and predict that only the hardcore nerds made it this far into the video. The last piece of the puzzle is the Teradek Cube. This is the unit that I use to broadcast my live sales. When I'm at the greenhouse, we plug it in directly by Ethernet cable to get the most stability, but the great thing about this unit is that it's Wi-Fi enabled, so it can broadcast wirelessly if there's a fast enough network. The problem is, the battery inside only has enough juice to power it for about 45 minutes. It's basically designed to keep the unit running in the event power is somehow lost, and it gives the operator a chance to fix the issue without killing the broadcast. What I ended up doing was buying a third-party battery plate that I could attach a Canon battery to and power the Cube off of it. I haven't tested the life of this unit on the battery, but I'm guessing it'll last a good long time, because this was the original battery that came with the C100, and it could keep that camera going for hours. So anyways, this was my Christmas present for myself over the course of 6 months, so I guess it was also my birthday present to myself. I hope you enjoyed the video and future videos I make with this rig. Happy holidays, everyone.